Alright, so I just finished up my Coleman ct200uex project. It took me about a week. Basically just compiled all the parts for this bike so that I could just bang it out, get it done quick. But I figured I'd do a little log of basically what I did to it, because I was basically inspired by some of you guys out there on YouTube that posted videos of these, and you know, more specifically BWX. His channel is great. He basically does a full rundown on these bikes and really goes through them, posts all the links, and that actually helped me hugely. So again, I'm making this video just to you know, help anyone else out there that wants to modify Coleman and get a little bit more out of it. So obviously right off the bat, you can see this is totally different. What's going on here is I get a 1.5 inch tank riser and just extended bolts. That basically brings the tank up more level. This whole tail section is custom made. It's just basically angle ironed, and I made a rectangular frame. And I got pivots right here in the front that I welded. These are just roll cage tabs you can buy off like Summit Racing or Speedway Motors. Definitely saves you a little bit of fabrication work, because you can just weld them on and be done with it. But yeah, it's just a sheet metal frame and angle iron on the bottom. We've got the factory seat, which is chopped down about half the thickness to give it a little bit better look. A little bit of a sacrifice there for comfort, but so yeah, that pivot's there. I've got a mountain bike shock in here. These tabs are custom welded. These tabs were made on the seat so that I can bolt in a 6-inch shock, so this whole thing pivots. Moving down to the engine, it's just a off-the-shelf Predator 212. I've got the gas tank from the original High Sun 196. Basically fits right on. If you put the front bolts in and you push down on the back of the gas tank, you can actually bend this piece here on the tank, which is not the actual tank, it's just a cover. You can bend it down and you can get the rear bolt to line up. So it's a Predator 212 with the High Sun gas tank on it. This throttle linkage I custom made. So basically I've got a steel rod going from here directly to the throttle, and that basically gets rid of all of your governor setup that's in the front here and all the unneeded springs that these engines come with out of the box. You can see I used one spring here, which attaches, I don't know if you can see it, attaches from the rod right here, goes all the way through. I drilled a hole in the cover, and just nice and simple. One spring, one rod, straight to the throttle. And with the governor removed, that gives you full throttle. The Stage 1 kit consists of a bigger main jet and a carburetor. Comes with this air filter right here and this pipe. That's all from Go Power Sports, and that makes a huge difference. It wakes these engines up and just gives it the fuel that it needs. This is just a 2-inch silicone elbow that I ordered off Amazon. I basically wanted to raise the air filter up a little bit higher. I didn't want to risk it getting wet or anything like that when I was doing some riding. This is just a pit bike muffler that I got off Amazon. Actually, I think I got this off eBay, and it's not a real Yoshimura. This is just a sticker that I put on it. So it's like a $50 muffler that you can buy, but it's got a great sound to it. It flows well, and kind of makes it sound like a quad. So I don't have any videos of it riding yet since I just finished this last night, but so far I like it. This is just a tab that I welded onto the frame, and I slotted it so that when the engine moves forward and back to adjust the chain, this can make up for it as well. So that's basically a rundown of the engine. I've got 1-inch steel spacers that I made to bring the engine up a little bit. And that is to clear the torque converter. You can see it's really close in the back there, but it does clear. Let's see here. We've got 20-inch tires, 20x7s with the 8-inch rim, stock rims. I went with Kenda Dominators, and I've yet to really ride it, so I can't really tell you how they are, but they look like they'll perform pretty well. I did ride it when it was stock, and the rear brake just felt like crap. After a couple hours, it just felt like it had so much fade and it didn't really want to stop too well. So it actually has EBC slotted brake shoes in it, and I'm gonna give those a try to see how they work. Custom paint job, the whole thing's painted olive drab. It's just Rust-Oleum rattle cans. You can get at Home Depot. I think it's actually called Deep Forest Green, and came out pretty well. I'll give it kind of a military look. On this side, got the torque converter. It's a 30 series, and I re-geared the bike. 60 tooth in the back, 8 tooth in the front. Again, BWX, his channel is, really descriptive. He posts links to all this stuff in his videos, and that helped me out hugely because I could basically just click on the link and buy it. And not to mention, all his stuff was pretty much tested and tuned. So, that was a huge help. These are custom mid mounts. I basically just have a 1-inch bar that I bent up. It's DOM tubing, and that goes all the way across and welds directly to the frame. I got another tab in here running down to help support it. These are these are just pit bike aluminum foldable pegs that I put on there. And this piece right here is actually, I think it's off like a Ninja 500. I had a bunch of parts hanging around, but this whole steel bracket with this is off a Ninja, and it worked pretty well with the pegs. I had to modify them a little bit to get them to work in there, but for the most part, any bike that has a folding peg like this that goes up at like a 45, they all use this same kind of C shape right here. So I cut the front pegs right off it. I didn't really like the forward controls, and the pegs that were on it, they weren't spring loaded, so if they flipped up, they stood up, and I didn't really like that, so chopped it off. And again, I've yet to actually ride it, so I'll have some videos soon of this thing riding. But so far it feels like a beast. I started it up in the shop here and just basically revved it till the torque converter grabbed, and this thing's got a crazy amount of torque. It just instantly pulls a wheelie. So I'll have some videos soon to follow.